Bringing down the music a little bit. Unmuting myself, unmuting Tom, and then going to visuals. We're live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nerd On Update, the weekly show where we answer questions from you. But first,
there it is, practicing.
Every time.
Practicing. What is happening?
Every time. Hello, everyone. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Caped Crusaders. We're the worst comic book show ever.
Wow.
The Caped Crusaders compared to the Caped
No,
Crusaders.
You're
that
right.
is the greatest comic book podcast show.
Allegedly.
The fastest in the news, supposedly.
Yeah.
And the ones with the hottest rockin' bods.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Let's not have a repeat of last week. What happened last week?
Remember, I messed up.
I don't even know what you
said. For the first time in history, I messed up the update intro. So
what was the mess up?
I think we even had a good idea for a new show. It was like the Up Late. I think it was the Nerd On Up Late.
The Nerd On Up Late. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that is. I still think that is a good idea for a show.
Oh, dude! Look, and we were just talking about this before in our digital green room. I'm getting to the point where like, I would love to just get funding for anything and just start being able to do that shit because man, spending money to do production stuff is really where it's at the end of the day. Like having money to make a thing is so gratifying and fun to do.
Hell yeah!
I would totally love to do like so Anthony Bourdain had like several shows, and one of them was like where he would go late at night and he would just go smoking, drinking, and meet up with people and go eat like late night spots. I would totally want to do like a Nerd On Up Late where it's like we just go out to places and then do whatever the hell. Like, well, let's go to that.
Like Ralph's at 12:30 a.m. No, I'm just kidding. No. It would have to be on like on a Friday or Saturday. Where things are open much later than normal.
I mean, I could totally just do it where, like, you know, get you a couple of jewels while they last because the FDA hates you, and then I could just have a cigar and we could just walk all the way down Lancashire.
Oh shit!
Like, going to each taco spot, and all it is just like we have one taco. And then we just walk and talk into the next spot. And just
I fucking love that. I love that.
And but just talk about like,
yeah, man, Jewel. Are we allowed to talk about that here?
Why not?
I don't know. It's such a crazy like.
We're not selling it to any teens. And
no, we're not. I got to be real with you. There was So I heard that news and I'm putting myself on blast here. I haven't had an actual cigarette. I know, gross. Cigarette in like 3 years or something like that. But I changed to vaping in some way, and I know it's not better, but it's not the fucking carcinogens and that other shit.
It's not worse
for now.
It's not worse.
It's
I think it's for sure not worse than cigarettes.
Yeah, but it's not. I think the FDA's real issue at first was like, I don't think it does what you guys think it does. I mean, they were kind of like, oh, it's so much better than smoking, and it's not worse, but it's also not better. But anyway, so I use nicotine in some way, whether it's gum or vape. And today when I woke up, I was like, oh man, I'm out of vape. I'm out of Juul pods. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to go to the gas station. And they didn't have any. And I was like the whole shelf was cleared out. Like they had no representation of the brand. And I was like, did I misread? And then I read an article that said immediately. And I was like, oh shit, Josh is going to be required to stop using nicotine. Not a bad thing, but there was a gas station down the street that still had them. So anyway, I do have to work towards that.
If anyone watched like maybe 3 episodes of House, you never take anyone off of anything immediately.
Yeah.
Like that's just a bad idea.
It was quite a moment.
But no, I mean, to me, like, look, I was vaping quite a bit. I pretty much like stopped once the pandemic like shut everything down.
Yeah.
And it was really hard during that time because I think they took away all the little juice that had like
Any
nicotine.
flavors, in California and
Well,
whatnot.
I think to me it wasn't really like I like the flavors. I like that like that cereal or that fruity shit. But then I would go with like the babiest nicotine ever. If I had anything more than that, I would have a headache. But it was just
Like
like
the
nice to
what's the
have.
point level?
Yeah, because I had some that have no nicotine. I was just like, this sucks. It just feels like I'm just getting a bunch of just fucking flavored juice in my mouth, and I'm like, I don't want this.
How about I
Like,
just go get
need
a juice
little bit of that hit.
box?
A little bit, or just like, I mean, at that point, it's like, oh, let me just fucking go through the like problems of just setting up a hookah.
Yeah.
Which to me, smoking anything except crack, don't do that. That's really bad.
Don't do that.
Weed, cigars, cigarettes, vapes, I've done it all.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, whatever. Like, everyone should just, on their own discretion, be safe about it, because obviously none of those things at varying levels are good for you.
Yeah.
But I was like, to me, so crestfallen because it was just like, look, I know I'm doing something terrible for my body, but I'm doing it a little responsibly.
Yeah.
And then the only reason like it got the little fucking slap on the wrist from the government was because it was being sold to kids. And I'm like, stop, there are adults who want this. Like, why are you punishing the adults because you want to sell to kids? Because there's plenty of adults that are willing to do this shit. Like Leonardo DiCaprio himself, like having one at the Golden Globes. I'm like, dude, his looks like a fucking butt plug. Everyone's gonna start having these things. Mine looks like a butt plug, and I'm just like, I don't care. I'm shoving this electronic thing in my mouth, sucking on this electronic heating pad. But then they're like, no more, and now only Juuls, and I'm like, I personally just don't like Juul. Like, you've had me, like, I've taken a drag off your Juul every once in a while, and I just hate like the idea of like sucking on a USB stick.
Yeah.
Like,
Pretty much. It's like, hey, this is dual purpose. I can load files and I can get nicotine.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I'd rather look like I'm sucking on an exhaust vent than like sucking on a USB stick. But I know, like, there's two things. Still, Juul is like pretty bad. Like, and that was the main thing. Was like, it's still pretty bad about like targeting kids, and then also the fucking carbon footprint because of the pods and people just being shitty about it, like Keurigs. I'm just like,
but I'm in that place where it's just like, guys, listen, I actually passed 460 days a couple of days ago with no alcohol, so it's good. Come on, man. So Nerd on Up Late, I would be so down, like a really like a chill, it's almost like a chill stream where we could do. Remember when we did the live when we were driving around in Comic-Con? Something like that.
I mean, the little travel logs are kind of nice, and I think people kind of like seeing like, oh, we're out and about with them and all that stuff, and it's like a log. Ethan Who wants a zero proof spear recommendation.
Well, you would probably know that because I think you've done more research on that front. Like mine has been like zero alcohol beers, like finding good non-alcoholic beers, because it's hard to find good non-alcoholic beers. So but there are some accounts that I follow on Instagram that make a non-alcoholic zero proof, right? Is that non-alcoholic?
I'm pretty sure that's non-alcoholic. Yeah.
I
remember seeing some at my local liquor store, which I'm always happy to sport them because they have non-alcoholic options. They're very nice, and they're also very like, everyone comes from like a fancy bar background, and they're all just like trying to like teach people how to be better.
Non-alcoholic spirits in a liquor store.
Mm-hmm. No, this awesome. It's called Fancy Free, and it's like very hipstery looking. They have like $1,800 bottles, and then they'll have like your $40 regular whiskeys, or they have the $90 Macallans and stuff like that. But like they haven't had like, they're like, we're always getting new stuff based on like what people are asking for. So like we're always kind of like changing our stock based on our clientele. And for me, I'm like, give me some non-alcoholic shit, and then get me some like cool different stuff, because I want to learn how to make different drinks. And like I've learned how to make like 5 new drinks because of them.
Nice.
But I think one that I definitely saw was this one called Lyran, and it
It's
looks
like
pretty cool.
yeah, I follow them on. I really want to try their. They have a couple that I want to try.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing to me where it's like, I hate like we talked about this ad nauseum, but it's like non-alcoholic drinks that are just like, here's fucking juice and sugar, bitch,
Yeah.
and you're like, why?
Here's a
Versus,
non-alcoholic screwdriver, so orange juice. Yeah.
Yeah, and I talked a lot about how like the distillation of stuff and.
Oh, Tom froze. Tom froze. Oh no. This is the Josh E. Show. We are the Josh E. Show. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll just wait here. How is everybody in the chat? I see T-Dog. I see Ethan. I see the Azorian one. I see Mamba. I got deleted, y'all. It is the blip.
Emotional damage.
Yep. Exactly. That is what I'm feeling right now. Doing all right. That's awesome. Nerd on to Nerd One. Hey, it's Gotti. He's my cousin. Shh, he's my cousin. He got me into World of Warcraft Classic, so I'm going down that wormhole. Started a hunter, which it's been fun. Been fun. Oh, what's wrong with your internet, Tom? I have an imagining that Azorian one is having flashbacks of Tom giving him the same spiel. Girl said maybe to a date tomorrow. I said I'll take it. She said yeah. I said it better than a no. Hell yeah. It's like a maybe. It's like a maybe. That's awesome. Sweet. Sweet. Waiting for Tom as per usual. Just kidding. That's totally a joke. Must suck to have internet issues, Tom. What else is going on? What else? I'll let you into my life. My mother-in-law put her on a plane today. She was visiting the past week. It is, I'm a little exhausted, but, taking her around town, went to the Butterfly Pavilion. If you're ever in LA, go to the Natural History Museum. During the spring and summer, they have the Butterfly Pavilion. It's pretty cool. Go into a room, and there's just like butterflies flying all around. How's Bonnie doing, Josh? She is doing well. Her mom was over this week, so it's been like 2 or 3 years since she's been here, and she hadn't met our cats yet. She's an interesting old woman. I like her. She's funny. But sometimes you gotta be like, hey, stand up straight. She's learning how to stand up straight because her back hooks. Gotta teach her. Hey, is Tom here? Is Tom here? Is Tom here? Is Tom? He's here. But is he?
Am I Anthony Steves is haranguing?
I don't know. I'm getting. Oh, I know what happened. I'm getting double of you, so let me.
The electron.
Yes.
Because the good old electron. Good thing we didn't start yet.
Hell yeah.
Good thing we didn't start yet.
Mute that. Oh, anytime a new source comes into the electron video, it takes back any controls that you did. So cool. Did the cats like the mother-in-law? Cats are cats, Mimi, who is the white pretty cat who knows that she's pretty, doesn't give a shit who you are. And Mimi, who is Penny Lane, just is like, yeah, give me the love. She's like a dog. It's weird.
I have to say something real quick. Steves, are we gonna fight?
Oh man.
Are we gonna fight as Steves? Is this what's gonna happen? Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna
internet violence?
Are we gonna like make the ultimate Patreon goal that we just set up like a boxing ring? I know certain people who could set that up for us outside of I know the people who set up the fight outside of Empires. So I know Scoot was my he was my my subordinating officer, I guess.
Subordinating
officer under me. He was in, there's a guy who runs a lot of the local wrestling stuff in Sacramento, and I was his like commanding officer in ROTC. And I'm like, that's so weird. And like I know wrestlers here in LA that go up and work with them. And I'm like, what the fuck? And no, not the boxing ring. You know what ring? The Green Lantern ring? Hell in a Cell? Is that the one with the ass and the grass and the glass?
Oh my god. There's a prediction thing here? Oh my god, I didn't know you could do that. That's hilarious. Oh my god, it's gonna happen. All right. Creator clash. I don't even think it could be on the scale.
Is Steve's 40-year-old COVID ass lungs versus Tom?
Oh no, he has COVID right now. That's right.
Who gonna win?
Should we actually start the show?
We should get started.
And I think Tom, it's your go because I fucked it up last week.
I'll open it up. Cool. Hey, it's already one. Seven times 0 is still 0. Anyways,
I hate it when mom and dad fight.
All right, let me know where.
Yeah. So everybody who is here, you've probably been here before, but if you are new to the show, we are going to go into an intro. Basically, the show's going to get all official, and we're going to do the intro, and then we're going to do the show. We're not recording this right now anymore, so here we are. I'm going to go to the intro right now, Tom, and here we intro.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Nerd On Update, the show where we talk about our favorite nerdy news from this week, and we answer questions from you, the audience, and the Twitch chat while it goes on live. If we're not having a spat with one of our co-hosts who's trying to out me for a fight, everyone comment below, like, comment, subscribe for the fight.
Oh my goodness.
We got us two here tonight to talk about the news. How about I go first, because I think some of my stuff is going to be and then we'll see where I think your stuff is much more neutral and fun and cool. So my first bit of news is going to be Steve's, who's in the audience right now. Zacky Snidey, baby.
Zacky Snidey.
Zack Snyder's Justice League is going to be available on digital July 19th. Why is this important? Every movie has digital release. But you know what's weird is that Warner Brothers Discovery is also having
Wait, has it not been on... Wait, didn't it first come out on digital?
On HBO Max, but you couldn't own digital. You had to buy
a now copy. You can own it. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm new here, everybody. Thanks for having me.
No. I mean, it's a weird, unprecedented thing. And we'll talk more about that later. But
I feel like everybody went, is this an actual movie? Do we treat it like actual movies?
Well, so I mean, that's the thing where it's they re-released it again, these kind of things. And we talked about it, in 2021 when it all happened. It was all so we never had this happen before. Are you good?
There was some sort of noise, and I don't know what it was.
Okay.
That was weird. Did everybody on the stream hear that? It sounded like something blowing up in my ear.
I didn't hear it, but I do know that's what happened to me when my computer just digitized. It just went, and then I was like, oh. We had some technical difficulties, everyone.
Sorry. Okay. Do the thing.
But no, I mean, this was all very kind of unprecedented of the re-release of this film done in the director's vision within 4 years. It was just this hasn't happened. Typically you 10 years later or at least 10 years later usually pass by before any type of director's cut happens, and typically that's just purely for digital release or DVDs.
Yeah, it's like a special feature kind of thing.
Yeah, but this was done in such a big bombastic way, and it was really, really cool. But that being said, once it released, Zacky Snyder had meetings with Warner Brothers and HBO Max and how to release it and which way to go about it and how it was going to be done, because it was going to be different from theatrical release. It was going to be for HBO Max. This conversation of like, since it's going to be so long, they were going to do it in episodes, and that's why they had these opening sequences made. It was so many different things and worlds that happened, but then the moment it dropped on HBO Max in its 4-hour form, there was just no more conversation. This Zack Snyder was just like, yo, I'm now promoting Army of the Dead, and I haven't heard anything from Warner Brothers. They have like completely ghosted him. And it was just kind of upsetting, because it was like, oh, this kind of this feeling of vindication of like, he was treated really terribly for it. Whether you like his films or not, he was just kind of treated really terribly.
Yeah. It was a whole saga. Like it was a whole thing.
And then this kind of felt like this cool vindication, redemption, or whatever you. And then people like Toby Emmerich, Walter Hamada, and then I forget the main VP's name, but she was like, no more else. That's it. And we're like, why would you say that? The movie hasn't even been out for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
So now, and like Zack Snyder later made deals with Netflix to do Rebel Moon and Planet of the Dead and a bunch of other, and Twilight of the Gods, so many things for Netflix, and everyone's kind of like still holding on to hope for Restore the Snyderverse. And this is kind of like that first feel of like, Toby Emmerich is going to be leaving. The other exec above him also left, and now it's kind of like, if Walter Hamada doesn't have a chance to renew his thing, because David Zaslav, who's currently the guy who's running Warner Brothers Discovery, is very unhappy with kind of like the disarray, because you ask a casual audience member, they're not going to really know what the plan, what the timeline is, all that stuff, any type of like, what is the DC cinematic universe in that sense. And the only thing that kind of resembles that is just like, whatever Zack Snyder did is the one thing, and then everything else is their own thing now. And it's just kind of weird, to say the least, even for someone like me who's like who's paying attention to it. So the fact that Toby Emmerich is gone this month, and then Warner Brothers is like, hey, now buy the digital. It's like, oh, now you're gonna start promoting it, because like a month after Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, they like released this promo on YouTube for the Joss Whedon cut in 2017.
Oh yeah, I remember
own
that.
On digital.
Yeah.
And it got like 200,000 dislikes. And then like short after that, YouTube took out the dislike function. And so now that they're
because of
this, it feels like,
no, I'm just kidding.
Right. and it feels kind of like cool that like Warner Brothers actually kind of gets the chance to actually promote this thing, where it kind of felt like it hasn't been able to be promoted. Moving on, the next bit of news, again, from the DC Die Bro Boy. I have so many titles now. First of the Andals, Breaker of Chains.
I learned something new this week, and maybe this is what it refers to, because I apologize. I know that we don't always watch each other's streams, but Dive Ball is an actual Pokemon ball. Yeah, I just learned that. This week, everybody. On this segment of News to Josh, I learned what a dive ball is, and I was like, oh, wow.
Dive ball. Yeah, the only reason this happened is because I was playing a ROM hack of Pokemon. And so dive ball is good to catch water type Pokemon. I was trying to capture a psychic type Pokemon, because I was like, I have one Pokemon left to catch, and then everyone's like, use a dive ball. And I was like, I'll try. And that sucked. I couldn't do it. I literally just couldn't do it. I got 99. That's the max you can hold. I threw 99 at this Lugia. Could not catch it. I threw one random ancient ball, caught it first try. I was like, I hate this. I hate everything. Everyone's like, yo, for the dive ball. I restarted the game multiple times in order for me to throw this dive ball to catch it with the dive ball, because I think it was T-Dog. It might have been another one of the Toms in the group, or it could have been Dougler, who was just like, use dive ball. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And it sucked. It was the worst thing ever. But probably made good content.
I cut your news off.
You're good. The next bit of news. Well, I mean, this is kind of a nice. Oh, it's general. Nice. Thank you for suggesting it. Now we'll all be dive. We'll always have dive ball. The next bit of news is a little weird. Because last week I talked about a certain individual, EZRA Miller, and their exploits in the world and the news.
Yeah.
And then more stuff kind of, as Josh will quote from Big Lebowski,
New shit has come to
things
light,
have come
man.
to light. And it's not, I don't, and that's the thing. It's like, I don't know how legitimate this is, but this is me officially saying, like, I'm no longer going to report about this because I'm just like,
I don't know what's real,
don't know.
man. I don't know.
That's the thing. I wanted to let the dust settle. I wanted to let the ink dry, because with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, it was like, cool, we can see it happening in live in reality. With Ezra Miller, it's all just like reports, and there's very different reports, because right now the current report is that, like, the mother of these 3 children that Ezra Miller is keeping at their house are okay, and they're thanking Ezra Miller and thanking them for creating a safe haven for these children. All these things about, like, guns and live rounds in people's mouths is all like a lie. And if you look up the husband, like, their police record, they have like a whole rap sheet of like domestic violence, abuse, domestic violence. And so, like, everyone's like, Ezra Miller, real hero? And so that's why I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to say anything anymore, because I'm like, I just going to let
Hashtag good stepdad. Like, what's
I don't know. I don't know, because I mean, I don't. I don't know. I don't want to say anymore, because that's the thing where it's like, this is where people start getting in trouble, and this is why bad journalism exists, because everyone's like, put out the article now, and then
Put the
they get
title
things
out.
wrong. So I'm not going to perpetuate that. And Nerdon's never been about like getting out the articles first. It's the first time we might hear about it, and we're going to talk about it. But like, I'm going to be like not about it. I know there's like video evidence of terrible things he's done before, but this current thing, I'm just like, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to talk about anything about Ezra Miller until like the Flash comes out.
The
like,
seesaw
we'll
of Ezra Miller news. You're like, what? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And frankly, I kind of don't want to know. There's too many crazy things going on in the world.
Yeah.
So the last bit of thing that I'll mention, obviously, it's not really in the nerd news, but I think it is something that we've talked about since we haven't shied away from like tough issues on this show and with our podcast. You know where this is going, Josh.
Yeah.
On Friday, LeVar Burton said, "Happy Friday, y'all." And indeed, it was not a happy Friday.
No, it was not.
That was really rough to see him tweet that, and then everyone's just like, what are you talking about, Happy Friday? Obviously, we're talking about Roe v. Wade being overturned by the Supreme Court, which is absolutely insane and ridiculous, that a majority of men on a panel could be like, all of women must abide to this, whether your opinions of abortion or whatever, or religion or whatever, is not a government body controlling the fates of people's bodies is a thing. And then how it breaks down to people who can't afford to leave states are just going to find terrible ways to get abortions anyways. It's the same argument you're going to have about with gun control of like, well, if we just ban guns, people are going to find illegal guns. You're just making poor people can't have guns. And you're like, yeah, it's all, if I can say, it's all a fucking mess, and it's really stupid.
Yeah. I mean, the upside, to try to focus on the upside, is to see so many. I mean, it's hard to judge the kindness of corporations, but but to see corporations, some companies coming out, including game companies and whatnot, kind of standing in solidarity, and it's like some companies offering to pay for expenses for that. I'm just like, I honestly, when I heard the news, it was one of those surreal kind of days when you hear something at the beginning and you're like. And we took Bonnie's mom out to a movie and whatnot, and it was just like, you're looking around going, is this real? So this is the timeline we're on. Okay. What the fuck? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a little. I get very jaded about like companies who want to say, even like podcast, right? Like every podcast is going to have to be like, well, now we have to talk about it. And like, I'm not trying to make it where we're becoming that thing, but like, it's just a really weird thing that like, oh, Nike, be about the BLM now.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my fucking God.
Change
Like,
the logo. Change the logo.
You had all your company's lifespan to be an activist about anything, and now that it's because it's kind of popular and people are talking about it,
Yep.
now you want to do like Disney being but also don't look at our contributions over in Florida because we totally said don't say gay. And we're like, I'm just like fucking Christ, like it's like it's not a fashion statement. Like it's not a fashion statement to like talk about the thing. But again, that's why I was just like in Nerd On, we talked about Black Lives Matter, we talked about Asian hate. I think it would be still on brand for us. It's like, hey, we're mentioning it now. And fucking stupid. Josh, your news,
Yeah,
please.
my news. It'll be short and sweet because it is short and sweet. One of my favorite games of the last few years was Plaguetale Innocence. It's a Focus Home Entertainment. Lovely little game. I loved it so much. One of the few games in my gaming career that I actually platinumed and really enjoyed it. And we got to meet the developers at E3 a few years ago, and lovely game. And its sequel is coming out, and we got a release date, which is going to be October 18th. And we got like an extended gameplay video. It's like, I think it's like, how many minutes is it? It's a pretty good length, and I watched it, and it looks, it's 12 minutes. But it looks awesome. But I mean, another part of that news is it will be on Game Pass. So I thought that was interesting. I'm just excited for it. I'm looking forward to playing it. I haven't played a lot of single player games as of late because I've been playing like multiplayer games with my cousin and the other crew. So I'm excited to play this hardcore. But that's it. Like I said, short and sweet. Family was home. Family was here. I have been preoccupied, and that was the only piece of news that like made it through my preoccupation net. So shall we move to the next part of the show?
We shall.
Let's do it. So the next part of the show is in which we answer questions from you, the people. And if you would like to submit questions, our friendly neighborhood T-Dog has put the command in the chat. Go to nerdon.tv/questions. There are so many ways to submit questions that I made that little handy website. My favorite way, is what I meant to say, is to join the Nerd On Nation. Join the Nerd On Nation, powered by Patreon, and you get what we call a Nerd On Nudge. And you get that Discord, like secret channels in there that only you have access to, and you can submit questions there. But if you do join that Discord, if you are not a member of the Nerd On Nation, there are channels in there as well. But you can ask questions like, going down the list, B-Rad, what's something you couldn't live without every day? One tangible, one intangible.
Air is intangible.
Okay.
And my lungs are tangible.
Oh my God.
Womp womp womp.
Yeah, you got the sad trombone.
Something intangible that I couldn't live without. Something intangible.
That's like a concept, right? That's like an intangible thing, like you said, air. It's like trying to think.
I mean, you're the love of your friends, the support from your family, the lamentation of the women. I just like saying that lately because I'm just like lamentation of the women. It's just like Conan the Barbarian, man. Yeah. So I think stuff like that's intangible. But yeah, what's a tangible thing?
Live without every day.
A tangible thing that I'll say I couldn't live without. Wait, they couldn't go without the day, or couldn't live without? I couldn't live without every day. I mean, technically, if it's facts, it's probably my phone. Not even like, the social media. It's like, all right, how do I get here? It's like I need the GPS to get here.
Yeah, that's legit.
Also, I need to check my email if I got like correspondence from like like a composer or something, or for work. I just need to have
Yeah.
like communication with my phone. I don't even have to have the phone function for phone calls. I could have no social media apps and that'd be fine.
Yeah.
But although I do really like watching some YouTube. Yeah, so I mean I probably have to have my phone. Like I literally need to use that for work now. So definitely should get paid an expense for that. I could probably, I could use my phone to get an Uber. I could use my phone to order food. I mean, I really would need my wallet. I wouldn't, but an intangible for me. Um, um, I think if I'm trying to make this like somewhat meaty, so that it kind of
Juicy
isn't
bits.
bullshit like air.
I can't live without air. Yeah. Fuck what we know.
I would probably say, I don't want. I hate this answer, but it's such a true answer. Without hope.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think like I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I forget who I was talking to, but I keep bringing up my cousin, and my cousin she asked me, and her have like been trying to reconnect more often. And she asked me a question because it's again from people who don't do creative stuff to people who are striving to do creative stuff. They always ask me the question of like, are you ever afraid that you're not going to make it? And I confidently at all times am like, that's a worry that you go to bed with, that you wrestle with, that you think about, that you don't think about, that you learn to ignore. It's something that just lives and it stays there, and you work, and it's non-linear, and you wrestle with it, you put it to rest, it comes back, it comes into your shadows and your doubts and stuff like that. But like the idea of hope, and I hate that, like Star Wars, everything's hope. It's like, but it is that idea of like, even in the world of like terrible things happen or bad things happen between friends, or you're you're going through a lot of loneliness with yourself, or you're going through a really hard time, finances could be down, your physical health could be down, all that shit could be at the dire straits. And the hope you have of just like, hey man, I'm not the best at anything, but I know I can do this. I can do one thing that is better for me and will be better for me tomorrow. And the hope is that I will be better emotionally, physically, mentally, whatever it might be, financially. And that's it. It's that, okay, that little bit of like hope is almost kind of like, to me, like the imaginary or a non-tangible like milestone, where it's like when you're driving on the 5, you're trying to get to fucking Sacramento because you're me and you hate your life and you're always driving to Sacramento all the time, and you're like, Harris Ranch, that's 3 miles up, that's the milestone. It's like hope to be better tomorrow, be better in 2 weeks, be better in 3 months, whatever the fuck it is. It's like, I have hope that today I could do this and that'll get me there. I can't worry about too far in the future, but I can worry about 2 days in the future, or like 2 weeks in the future. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, that's a good answer. Those are 2 very solid answers. And the thing is like, I'm thinking about your answers and I'm like, man, I mean, tangible. It's like I go down this like fucking spiral of like, well, really, I can live without any tangible thing, and like, really, should I be dependent upon anything? Like part of me goes like, it'd be hard to live without my wife. It'd be hard to live without her around me all the time. She's a wonderful, wonderful person to have in my life. Legitimately, like you said, phone. Me, I think it would probably be my iPad. I read on it every single day. Like I read books, and I wouldn't be able to, like, Bonnie is kind of like a light sleeper, and I wouldn't be able to read at night because I'd have to, if I didn't have my iPad, I'd have to get paper books and have a light on, and it would be uncomfortable, and I can read comic books on it. I get my audition scripts on it. Yeah, that would be legitimately, it would be hard to live without my iPad. Intangible. Intangible. I mean, mine is along the lines of what you said. But is there an echo in here? No, I've been thinking about this myself a lot. Is determination and tenacity, because it's not always hopeful, and maybe it's not finding hope within it. Sometimes I wouldn't be able to. I can't live without it, because there have been times in my life where it's like everything, it almost seems like everything around me is telling me to stop. Like, not in a way, like not in a good way, but like it's just trying to bring me down. And I'm like, no, screw you. I'm going to continue forward. Determination. There's been some times where I've had to kind of like, no, you stop. And I'm just going to keep forward. And, changing, recently over the past few years, being like, you know what, I'm going to give this acting thing a go again, because growing up, that's acting was my thing. It was my passion. I didn't have a plan B until I had to have one. And so it's like pushing into it and pushing past like what is social norms of like age and, experience and blah, 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 blah. And just like the ability to just myopically move forward, not see all of the sign, because society wants to tear people down oftentimes, which is sad. And there's a lot of reasons to know. It's like, find the yes. So determination, I think, would be very hard to live without. Hey, it's B-Red. Huh?
You should play Undertale.
Oh, yeah?
Every save point is like something like very cute, where like there's like a bowl of macaroni and then like a mouse, and then the save point will say, the idea of this mouse getting the macaroni fills me with determination. And that's the save.
I fucking love it. Yeah, I've just been thinking about that concept a lot. But next, I'm glad to be the voice in your head, the Azorian one. I have actually an idea to record a meditation specifically for actors, for creative people, because I've been having some like mantras that before I go into an audition or before I do anything, I'm just like these like mantras and these like reminders. Next question comes from Billy. Oh, Billy. Have you seen the new season of Umbrella Academy on Netflix? What a great show. And I have started watching it.
Fuck. No. I haven't even started the first season.
I was going to say, yes, I have. I am on like episode 5 and I am loving it. There is, I read the comics and they're not sticking so much to the comics, which is fine. I'm totally fine with that kind of thing. But it's a trip. This season, I think, is one of the, it's very, what am I trying to say? Stylistic. There are some things in it that you're like, oh, damn, that's cool.
I really want to watch the show, but God, fuck.
There's a lot of things to watch, right? There's a lot to watch.
It's too much shit. Also, I love Steve's always gets so mad whenever I tell him that Robert Downey Jr.'s adaptation or portrayal of Iron Man is an authoritarian fascist, because he never answers for his war crimes and always has weapons of mass destruction.
How did we get here?
Use them anytime he wants. I just love using that on him, because he's like, no, Winter Soldier brain, and then but I the reason I say this is like I watch so much goddamn Disney shit all the time. I have every fucking right to shit all over MCU and Star Wars, because you know what? As much as I talk shit about it, it's like at least I watch it. Where like a lot of people who talk shit about everything else don't watch it at all, and I'm just like, shut up. Just like to me, it's like Umbrella Academy, like could be great, could be shit. I don't know. I haven't watched it. Probably not bad. It's renewed for 3 seasons. So
yeah.
But I the reason I say this is because I finished Kenobi. I did 3 episodes in one day because I was like, I'm gonna get this edit done and then I'm gonna watch this shit. And then I was like, cool, I'm done. I finished the short film and then I watched 3 episodes of Kenobi and I finished it. And then I was like, I need to go back and try to watch Hawkeye. Couldn't finish it. I swear to God, I'm like, I'm just on the pilot and I'm just like, this is so hard for me to watch. And then I started watching The Boys, watched 3 episodes, easy. And I'm just like, I'm doing it. I'm doing the work. And you know what?
It's not me. It's not
and
me.
You know what? And I was really wanting to watch Stranger Things instead, but I was just like, do I really want to go because those episodes are longer this season, right? Some of them are like an hour 17, an hour and a half, and I'm like,
yeah, the next few
BBC,
episodes are going to be like
Luther shit.
Yeah, the next few episodes are going to be chunky. No, like now we're talking about TV. Like Stranger Things this season, like I always give it a chance. I have we've done episodes about Stranger Things and I haven't been super kind to the show. But this season I was like, "Oh, this is Stranger Things."
But the thing is, I want it to be good. I want all of it to be good. I love Star Wars. I'm just tired of it for being like, here's $200 million for some half-baked shit. And I'm just like, I'm not talking about, that's not Kenobi. I actually quite enjoyed the finale of Kenobi, but there was something that I hated so much about the ending. I was like, I hate this. I hate this.
I have some thoughts. But, yeah.
At some point we'll talk about it. But like, it's the worst feeling of feeling like, I know everyone here worked hard and everyone blah blah. Everyone not out here to make a bad thing, but
we've talked about that. Yeah.
Also, don't waste my fucking time. My time is now.
That's like we talked about video games. Like
but especially with video games too, right? Where it's like I'm spending $60 on a $60. I should get a $60 experience, not a $10 experience for a $60 game with $10 DLCs for future installments. And then with the TV show, it's like you spent $200 million. I'm still getting like a $5 experience out of this, and it feels like you're wasting my time when I could be watching something else where it's someone's like, cool, we knew exactly where we want to go and exactly how we want to do it, and not just try to make fucking like soup spaghetti word bullshit. And you're just like, like I don't know. I like the fact I was a little like, there's one thing I was like a little like perturbed was that I literally from watching the first episode I predicted every single thing that happened in the entire show without it ever like. I was like, I watched the first episode. I talked to a friend. I was like, I think this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. He's like, have you watched it? I was like, no. He's like, that happened, and that happened. I was like, cool. I'm not mad about it. I'll never be mad that like I can expect the story beats. But if they're done very like plainly, then it gets very irritating. Where like The Boys, I was watching it, and you could talk about like it being too edgelordy, but I was just like, oh, so
the new
good.
season? You on the new season?
The new season's so
good. Yeah, it's there's moments. I mean, this past episode was wonderful. I know it was. I love their hype. Their hype train is just. They have a wonderful PR team. Just like they're like working up towards Hero-gasm, and if you've read the comics, you know what that is. But I mean, it's wonderful. I'm really enjoying it, and it's so much fun. Next question, because it's actually, you know, what's funny is it's somehow kind of related. T-Dog8282 asks, what's a show that no matter how hard you have tried, you could not get into it?
Show that I've tried so hard I could not get into it. Ooh, this is not going to be a fun answer. I think.
Are you going to get judged?
I don't think judged. I think people are going to be heartbroken. If Amy from the Caped Crusaders ever watches this, Ethan, if he's still on, he might hate this answer. Gravity Falls. It's a Disney Channel animated series where these two kids hang out with like their grandpa, and like a lot of cryptid shits happen. And I love cryptids. I love animation, and I tried to watch that show on 3 occasions now, and I still have never gotten past like the second episode. And every single time it's always been like, why do I care? Like, this just seems like the most zany, crazy characters of all time. And I know there's a secret like in the first episode, they're like, there's a secret. And I'm like, get to the secret, because that's the cool thing. Not to be a spoiler, but in Ben 10, you find out that like Grandpa is like this secret Men in Black agent dude, and you're like, this is really cool. And then they jump on that really quickly. And then here I'm like, Gravity Falls, I'm like, I haven't like, and what have we done? What was the one that Ethan Who kept asking you, Josh, if we watched? And that was like their first show that we did during the shutdown.
Oh,
It was the animated with Elijah Wood.
yeah, Over the Garden Wall.
Over the Garden Wall. I first started watching it and I couldn't watch it, and then like I started watching. I'm like, cool, I got into it. I got through it. I enjoyed it and I appreciated it. Gravity Falls, I'm like, start back at episode 1, and I'm
trying.
I can't, like, and like, I don't know if it's like if I'm getting older or not. I really don't think so, because like I still appreciate things like Steven Universe or Bubblegum, or I mean Bubblegum, Gumball. And I love Ed and Eddie, and I love kind of like wacky zany cartoon shit. But like Gravity Falls, I'm just like, and I don't know. I don't know what it is.
What is it?
I definitely am going to try. I'm going to try again, because I know it's good. I've heard so many good things. So I'm like, okay, I have to. Even if I don't like it that much, I ought to just finish it.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, chat. I see. Apparently, I did not irritate one person, but multiple people.
not one person, but everybody, all of society. No. Let me think. I can't. I'm trying to think. I mean, Stranger Things, I always give a chance, and I like the current season. It's probably the only season that I've been like, I really like this. This is cool. This is fun. I mean, there are a ton of shows that are almost like it's almost illegal that I haven't watched. I've seen snippets because people go, have you seen that scene? I have now because you sent me the YouTube link. Friends, I haven't seen a full episode of. Seinfeld, I haven't seen a single full episode of. Doctor Who, I haven't seen a full episode of. And it's nothing against these things, really.
Let me guess. The Doctor Who clip that everyone tells you about is the Van Gogh one.
Yeah.
It's because we're like the artist creator type, and everyone's like, it's important for you to watch this.
Yeah.
You should watch this. It's
The
like,
Office.
I get it.
Thank you, Gotti. The Office, I haven't seen. The American Office, I've seen a bunch of the UK Office. I mean, there are things that are like societal, cultural norms to have seen, and I haven't seen it. And it's like, I mean, like with Doctor Who specifically, I'm like, it's like when you're starting, I was just talking to, when you're starting Magic or you're starting World of Warcraft, you're like, there's a lot here. And there's a lot that I like, where do I start? Well, you can watch a video. I don't want to watch a video on it. I need you to tell me. There's a, like, where do I start? Should I start here? Because some people have been like, yeah, start at the beginning. And then some people have been like, no, you can start at this season. I'm like, come on. Help me. But anyway, yeah, so there's a lot of like, man, I've seen full episodes of Scrubs, but I haven't seen the whole thing of it. There's a lot of things that it's like, oh man, I really should, there's something, I shouldn't on myself, but it's like, yeah. I'm surprised I haven't.
At a certain level, you do want to, but also there's a level of like, there's too much shit to watch where everyone's like, are you watching fucking the new Picard season? I'm like, bro, I gotta
do you even have a sense of humor if you don't make Office references? Guys.
Okay, I'll say this. This is okay. Hot take moments, real quick. Friends, all you're missing is outdated homophobic shit and a lot of references to shit, and then like kind of this weird plot lines of just like who's gonna date who, and we all know who anyways. Doctor Who, I think you are kind of like, the only thing you are missing is just like But the thing is, you get everything already from other BBC shows you've watched. So it's like you get all the things that you love about BBC from those other things that people are like, oh my God, Doctor Who's so good because BBC just does things differently. You're like, but you've seen all the other ones.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of BBC, so it's like it's I know.
would say Seinfeld is much more culturally important comparatively. Even that being said, I'm just
I've seen more episodes of Mad About You than I have of Seinfeld. Anybody Mad About You? No.
But and some of the people in the chat, Buffy. This is the reason why everyone will go to bat for Joss Whedon. That's the only thing I'm going to say. I'm like, that's it. That's kind of also the only reason why Sarah Michelle Gellar is really as popular as she is. It's because she was huge
Bro,
in TV.
I know what you did last summer.
Barely. That was after the rage.
I
Even
know.
then, it was like Scooby-Doo.
I know.
But like SMG, right? I'm just like, she was a powerhouse for such a long time. She was like where there was Sarah Connor and Ellen Ripley. There was Buffy on TV, and she was doing the thing. I'm just seeing other people talk about stuff on chat, and I'm like, oh, this is a really good topic.
And I don't want to, and I don't want to like make it like, oh, it's like these are bad things. It's just I'm not saying that they're bad or anything. I'm just like, it hasn't happened for me.
Oh, and The Office, I'm just saying right now, it became really fucking cringe when everyone made that their whole personality, and I was just like, God, it's like, I'm sorry, I am so sorry for everyone this it implies. Pizza, pasta, and Office quotes as your whole personality makes you the most basic person, and I never ever truly want to have a conversation with you, because if that's the only thing you could talk about, then get the fuck away from me. You are better than that, and you should try to be better than that, because like, look, the world is full of wonderful things. If those three are the only thing you could talk about, get the fuck away from me.
So next topic, we're going to talk about Pete's. No, I'm just kidding.
Look, we could talk about it and we could enjoy that, but if that's the only thing, and I'm not, and again, this only affects a few people. So people are gonna be like, oh my God, Tom's canceling these things. Like, no. I'm just canceling the few people who are just like, that's the only thing they got. Like, it's like the high school people who peaked in high school. It's like, that's all I got. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So Tom, that is all the like pre-selected Google Sheet questions. You have the next questions. Yay.
All right. The first question, I'm going to answer this one because it's a little timely. Bad Reprint asked, what is one piece of advice you'd impart with someone getting into streaming?
I'll go. Jesus, my headphones did that thing again. I don't know what that is, and it's really freaky.
I see it. I see it happen.
I don't mean it to sound like this. Be comfortable with talking to yourself. That's like when we first started streaming and we were all going to take our individual days, that was like the first thing that I had to learn of that what was important, because when we first started, we had maybe a couple of people that were always there, and sometimes weren't, just because of our times, and when we were streaming. So I think being comfortable with talking to yourself is a good thing, I think.
For me, streaming. In that same vein, I would say stream something that you could enjoy without anyone watching, because whether it's something that you want to flex on some bitches for, like you're really good at this game, or that you just enjoy doing it so you can just kind of enjoy the habit of streaming and having a presence that like you're kind of on. And I've been watching a lot of streams lately from different streamers who like stream games, like, and it's quite surprising to see, like, contrary to what Josh said, like a lot of people don't talk, and you're like, how do you have so many people watching you and you don't say shit? Versus like us, where we're like,
I'm always very confused,
pre-established. and we kind of have to put on a show a little bit, right? We have to host.
Yeah.
And you will see that's a big difference between like people who are still trying to be successful at streaming versus people who just like they could fucking stream their fart and then they'll have like 800 people show up.
Is that the secret? I just been trying to figure it out.
I mean, people, I mean, look at Amaranth, baby. She
Yeah.
shoves a microphone straight up her asshole and people like ASMR that shit. But I would say, stream something that you particularly enjoy. That's why I always ask, like, what do you guys want me to play? Because I could enjoy playing anything really, and I just kind of don't care. Like, it's more of just like, well, if I'm here to host and hang out, then it's whatever. But if you guys want to see me just like go God mode on a game, that's another question.
Yeah.
And sometimes I might want to do that if like I'm feeling like particularly like I don't want to go through this slog. But yeah, find something that you're comfortable doing, and whether that's even like that's why sometimes older streams I've done like I just talk. And
Yeah.
it's like I don't feel like playing games. I
And
just wanna
like
talk.
and be conscious to like if you need to take a break, you need to take a break. Like for your own like for yourself. Like you're like, okay, I can't do it tonight.
And also in that same vein of comfortability, fucking don't feel like, oh, I have to be on at all times. You could be like, take a drink. Oh, I had to be excuse me. And then you just leave and then you just come back. Like, have fun. And that's the thing is like, that's my main thing. I always kind of think whenever I'm building relationships or whenever I'm doing stuff, it's always like, is it like I'm trying to date somebody or is it like I'm trying to host a party with friends? And it's like, to me, it's always like I'm trying to host a party with friends. It's like, if I have enough people who are hanging out, then I'm like, all right, I'm peace out for a second. And I used to do that all the time in my old parties. Very small side story. I used to do that all the time and then just go to my room with my girlfriend at the time and we would do stuff to each other. But anyways, next question.
Yeah, next question.
This one's gonna come from Ethan Who. Any chance of getting more Gunpla content? Tom, I'll answer that really quickly. I have one more Gunpla video that I've shot. I haven't
the
edited it
Gundam
yet.
builds?
The Gundam, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gunpla is, I believe, the Japanese name for the building of it because it's like this is a style of toys. It's called Gunpla.
The more you know.
I mean, even then, that's probably a loose translation. But Gundam models is what like I used to call it as a kid, and then as it's gotten older and more accessible to people, I think it's just now like, oh, we do Gunpla. It's like okay. So yeah, I have a video shot. I have no script written for the VO. So once I edit it, then I'll let you know. Maybe next month, next 2 weeks. I don't know. The last question I have in the bank. If you have any more questions, you can send them in.
Yeah.
But the last question.
How about we make that the last question of the night?
Yeah, that sounds good. This one comes from General Gigarax.
What up?
Is there a favorite tabletop game that you guys have, excluding D&D? Example, mine is Anachrony and Warhammer AOS. Josh, do you have a favorite tabletop game?
I mean, I'm a sucker for Zombicide. That's a fun group game. There was another one. I need to find the name of it. So while you go, I will.
I like One Night Ultimate Werewolf. I like that game. It requires multiple people to play. I mean, most board games do, but you need to have at least maybe 4 to 5 people. Some board games you can play with less, like 3 and 2. But One Night Ultimate Werewolf is very fun for me because I like games where you're playing mental chess with with other people in the room. I think those are just the most fun for me. Another game I like, King of Tokyo is really fun. That game is a hot potato mess. A very slow paced game, which is really fun, which is not a lot of people talk about, is 7 Card Samurai. I played a lot of Catan. I did like Outpost.
Yeah, that was fun.
Outpost is really fun because you're fighting against the game. I enjoy a co-op game where you're playing against the board, but sometimes they're just very depressing because it's like you're going against really bad odds.
Mm-hmm.
Settlers of Catan ruins friendships, Scotty. I apologize. But that game ruins people. I literally have seen
ruins.
a couple break up because of that game, and I'm
Oh
just
my
like,
gosh.
um,
Oh my gosh.
um,
I can't
I
think
would
of
say
the
those
other
are like
one. It was a horror one, and I can't think of it. It was so long
it
ago.
wasn't one
but it
that
was
we
fun.
played, right?
No, it was something I
Okay.
played at a friend's house. But
Oh,
yeah, it was.
I mean, Jackbox is kind of that same vein of tabletop, but you know that's breaking
it's
the
a
rules a little
digital.
bit.
It's breaking the question a little bit.
So
Well, sweet. That is this week's update. Actually, I've been thinking about. I really actually put it on my to-do list to figure out a day that is my day to stream, because Tuesdays I just learned that they were not my day to stream. Like, it just doesn't work out for me. I'm wondering, I want to do Saturday mornings again. Do you remember when I was doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Saturday mornings? That was a long time ago. That was now years ago. But I think, are we doing claps for fun? T-Dog wants claps for fun.
We could do tail slates.
This is Josh.
Trying to find anything I want to clap together, but I guess not. This time. You could be this generation's Saturday morning cartoons. That's what we kind of talked about. Like, mine was like Thirsty Thursdays, and then Josh was like Saturday morning cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, it's fun. I mean, I'm kind of not reserving it because in no way I'm like, this is mine. I always had the plan to, because I would like to try to do like my on Sundays, and because I know some people actually prefer Sunday like 5 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
because everyone's like, oh, like my streams are sometimes too late for people and it's in the middle of the week. To me, I always just imagine it's kind of like, who is it? I think Zach Galifianakis is it, who thinks that like it's rude to email someone after 5 p.m.
Yes, I've read that. Yeah.
And the rumor is, or the joke about it is like, it's not like emails come barreling through the window at after 5. You could just ignore it. For me, when I think a stream on a Sunday, I'm just like, aren't people doing things? Aren't they hanging out with their families and their loved ones? I'm like, why would I stream on a day where like I interrupt them? But apparently some people really like doing that. So
Yeah. I think it would be like, it'd be nice to start not early, but it's like sometimes I have classes on Saturdays at 12, so it's like, oh, okay, maybe like a 9 to 11 kind of thing, and it'd be something that I could probably upkeep, and the thing is I always really enjoy streaming, so like that's why it always made me sad of like not streaming. It's just I'm exhausted Tuesday nights. So anyway, so that is the idea. Should we find
we're
just hanging out. We're just doing the
just
thing.
hanging out.
I'm probably
I can look for someone to raid, but we can chat for a little bit.
Yeah, you can look for somebody to raid. I'm thinking
I know who I saw. I
Yeah.
saw Sun Eater.
Yeah, B-Rad. We send TikToks back and forth. Yeah, I got to be honest with you, Tom. I took a break from Elden Ring. I have not beaten it yet. We moved to World of Warcraft because it has a new thing coming out soon. And I don't have any like legitimate characters. I played like a tiny bit, I think, with you and Corey and
I never played Warcraft.
No? Then it was just you. It was just Corey. But no, I stopped playing. It's like I needed a break from Elden Ring because like I beat Millennia, and
Night, Mamba.
good night, Mamba. Get some rest. Sleepy bye.
So you beat Millennia.
I beat Millennia, and that was a lot. Like that took like I was telling David, my cousin, I was like, I changed my build so many times. I respect probably 3 or 4 times, tried different gear. I I would call in collaborators, and sometimes I probably look like an asshole, but I'd watch them and I'd be like, okay, so that's what they're doing. Okay. Like, so, okay, a lot of people are using these main things. Like, there are these kinds of spells. Okay. Oh, she's weak to this. Okay. Like, it was just like, it was like a study. Like, it was like a
I straight up will just watch YouTube videos.
Yeah, it was a study. And so once
I was like, Mage versus Melania, and I was like, I can't. I was like, this sucks.
Yeah, no, so I got to Faroum, and I won't do any spoilers, but I think I'm at the last couple of bosses, and they're not to F around with. And like I just don't have a drive right now to like, yeah, man, let's do this. Let's figure this out. I just like
you want to play a game that'll make you like not in like a positive way go back to Elden Ring, but you'll be like, oh, I can't. Is fucking Jedi Fallen Order. I'm just like,
I've played that, but not on hard mode.
But no, it's not even like it's on hard mode. It's just like, this is not a good combat system comparatively. It's just like, like in Elden Ring, and I think Bad Reprint says about this about every From Software game, it's hard as shit, but it's always fair. And it's always like, there is a way to beat it with what I'm doing. I might have to fix it up a little bit, but I have to just, I am learning. I am getting good scrub. T-Dog, that's pretty badass with the die ball, with the Rayquaza. Like, oh, this is your current run, right? With your team, with your Flygon and yeah. No, I wouldn't be mad that you didn't finish Elden Ring at all. T-Dog wanted me to play Hollow Knight, which is practically like a Soulsborne Metroidvania game.
Yeah.
And it's difficult, but it's actually not hard for me.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not good with platformers. Like Mamba knows I'm ass when it comes to platformers. And like,
ass.
I think they want me to go, I think Mamba wants me to play all the Sonic games like the way Caitlin played all the Resident Evil games. Because holy shit, Sonic is so hard because it's not like Mario platforming. Mario, you go left to right. Sonic, you go up, down, right, and over, and it's just like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
iJaney Robot, did you hear the news? Did you hear my disgrace? My fall from grace? Tom, I have to say, it sucks that you've become accustomed to a certain lifestyle. It makes dating pools so much smaller for souls likes. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I think the few girls that I've dated who played video games, one got me into Animal Crossing, and she also really wanted me to play Mario Sunshine. Another girl was all about OG games, but she always threatened that she could beat me at Smash Bros. And she never came in to fight. And I was always like, your weakness is showing.
Your weakness is showing.
Another girl was super into Destiny, all about Destiny. And I was just like, I'll play a little bit with her, and it was all right. Another girl was like, I don't give a shit about video games, but I'll be supportive of you playing video games, which I'm like, that's all I really need. Oh yeah, so iJaney Robot, we answered a question of what show we couldn't get into, even though how many times we tried. And mine was Gravity Falls. I haven't been able to get into that show at all. Like, I will love, Over the Garden Wall and Steven Universe and Gumball, but like Gravity Falls, I'm like, I still have not gotten past the second episode. Like, I could not as I said in the chat, I do not give a doo-doo after the Loch Ness Monster. I'm like, I don't care.
I do not give a doo-doo.
It sucks I played
the hell
Ring now, so now no Souls like looks good to you. There's like, oh, I was about you talking about. Yeah, I mean, I'll still play them just to respect, to give respect to the classics, and that's my thing. When Josh was talking about like, where do I start Doctor Who? You know where I'm going to start, Josh? Season 1. You know how rough that's going to be, how bad it potentially could be, but I'm like, I'm about to.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I
respect
must
the
know.
But
I must know.
Like, if I hate Doctor Who, then I deserve to hate it because like I
earned this.
I was there when it was forged. You know, like
You
yeah, I
merely
do wanna play
adopted this. I was born in it, molded by it.
Monster in the Lake episode has some good wine-liners. Yeah, I mean, I barely remember it. But yeah, it's like, what is it? Do not recite the ancient words to me. I was there when they were made. Like that. That's why I like going deep into a thing. It's like, cool. I'm gonna have that experience, not the same way as everyone else, but it's like, get off my back. If I don't like it, I did it. I put in the effort.
Leave me alone. Did we find somebody to
Yeah. We'll go ahead and raid Sun Eater. They're playing Devil May Cry 3.
Sweet.
I'm going to go ahead and hit start raid right there. I feel like IGN Robot and Antic Fire just came in at the end of their own streams or something like that, and they're coming in over here, but it's good to see y'all. Hope you've
Yes.
been well. Also to catch you guys up, Multiverse of Madness is my least favorite film this year. I don't know if that starts some beef, but definitely The Northman is above that. Everything Everywhere all at once still number one.
I saw Elvis. That was pretty good.
Was that good?
Yeah, I dug it. All right, everybody. We are outie. We're getting out of here. We're going to go do things. Y'all are awesome. Take care of yourselves this week. Join Tom for Thirsty Thursdays and probably the return of Saturday morning cartoons with Josh. Saturday morning. I'm thinking it's going to work. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't. But yeah, stick around for the raid. But I'm going to go to the end screen. Go to our website, neuron.tv. Get all that information, those juicy bits about us. It has all of our episodes, all of the things, all the linky links. Follow us, listen to us, watch us. We need validation. No, I'm just kidding.
We have 5 seconds.
You know the drill. As always, nerd on.
Nerd on.